Women and cinema. What comes to your head as you hear those two words? Sexy, seducing, appealing, or even submissive? Indeed, there are a lot of movies and TV shows that have its own heroine. But still, the majority of them are minor to the male characters. Women's image in the contemporary media are often influenced by the patriarchal system that lives in the society. Men as the dominant one, the spectator, the hero, while women often treated as the spectacle, the submissive one, and moreover, the object to be looked at. I'm 100% sure that you've seen how the camera often focuses on women's certain body parts. It's even panning up and down. Ugh! Talking about the submissiveness of women characters in films, they are often portrayed as a victim of violence. And yeah, the male gaze is literally everywhere, even in the most violent scenes. That's why today we'll be discussing a full-on violent series, which at the same time showing us a lot of nudity in the way male gazes. Perfume. In the series, women not only appear as the victim, but also the perpetrator. Does it bring any kind of feminist values? Or will it be an empowerment, or not? And sure, how violence against women is represented through male gaze will be discussed. With Feminist Approach, the theory of representation by Stuart Hall is therefore used to reveal the relation between violence against women and the male gaze conveyed by this series. First, we can look at the narratives to investigate how the film presents violence against women, or in this case, we can say, by women. Then, we take a closer look at the cinematographic elements that play a big role in executing male gaze. Narratives. Adapting a novel titled Das Parfum, die Geschichte eines Mörders by Patrick Suskind, the 2018 series Perfume contains a more modern version of the narratives. It even has female main characters. Perfume follows the story about an investigation of a very wicked, explicitly presented murder of a woman named Katarina. The murder itself has a motive for extracting the scent of female bodies to make some kind of a magical perfume. Teasing bit by bit, the series keeps on making us guessing who's the real murderer, while the story keeps moving back and forth between past and present. This way of storytelling is popular among mystery or detective genre. Along the way, our view is filled with a lot of violence as well as erotic scenes. When I say it's a lot, it is a lot. Female characters. Following a female detective, Nadia Simon, at first we saw her as a strong, independent woman ready to conquer the world. But ironically, she has an affair with her boss, Grunberg, who apparently already has a wife and a family. Nadia, with a strong and nearly masculine look, is portrayed helpless in front of Grunberg. Next, we have Elena Zeliger. Most of the time, she is presented as the weak one, as if her more feminine persona seen as her weakness. In her teenage days, she always faces violence from her father's violent behavior to being raped by her group of friends. Weirdly, the present setting shows that she's married to one of the rapists, and the violence, it goes on and on. And here comes Katarina. Her character is constructed in a way that screams male gaze. This is what Moltke called visual pleasure, presenting the female body as an erotic object that everyone's obsessed about. She's the it girl, the talk of the town. Her perfect life sets an impossible standard for real-life women. However, she only appears as a memory from other characters. Moving on to one of the most important female characters, Lydia. She's a therapist that turned out to be the main perpetrator. In the series' finale, she's revealed to be the one behind all those murders. As we discussed earlier, the motive is to make a special perfume that can give her power over anyone who smells it. She's craving to be desired. At the end of the day, she's also brutally murdered by Nadia. And sadly, we all know what she's aiming for. This is representing women and their sense as a commodity. According to Stuart Hall's constructive approach of representation, meaning are something that is constructed, so the representation itself doesn't reflect the reality. In this 6 episodes long series, violence is presented through male gaze, even though the main characters are females. The tragic ending of their lives shows misogynistic nature of women representation in the series. In the scenes featuring sexual activities or even violence by main characters, close-up shooting technique plays a big role on capturing female certain body parts into the frame. Here, women are objectified in a way that her sexual functions are separated from her person, reduced as if they were enough to represent her as an entity. As Mulvey mentioned that in cinema, women appear as an erotic object not only for heterosexual male characters, but also for the audiences. Cinema creates the illusion of enjoyment so that the audiences can fantasize away from the existing reality. The series shows that the male gaze can appear in the veil of female gaze. Although the plot twist revealed Lydia as the main perpetrator, most of the brutal violence scenes in Perfume are committed by male characters. It all happened in such a way that it all erased and gone by one revelation moment. On top of that, the motive behind this woman killing other woman situation is also influenced by men. Craving to be desired, seeking men's validation, to be looked at, or we can say in this case, to be sniffed at. In conclusion, the male gaze is inevitable from today's women's image in contemporary media. Therefore, the violence against women is not portrayed accurately nor fairly. Believe it or not, this actually promotes the perpetuation of the patriarchal system that puts women under oppression. By recognizing and being aware of how male gaze affects women's image in the media, the society can eventually erase gender hierarchy as well as inequalities.